Yo, guys, welcome to the Blast from the Past movie podcast. I'm one of your hosts, CJ.
Joe Kill, keeping it real.
And I'm Mad Mike.
And this is the podcast we talking about old school movies. That's right.
What?
I tried to change it up because I didn't want to do the whole,
Yeah, I got you.
if they should or should not. You know what I mean? I tried to change it up a little bit. Sorry, guys.
It's okay, I feel you.
But sometimes we just don't like them.
Oh, you missed them. Sorry, we switched it up. I switched it up on them real quick. I'm sorry, guys. I wasn't supposed to switch it up like that, but apparently that was my fault. So, if you're tuned in on the Instagram live feed, thank you very much. Facebook live feed, thank you very much. And down there, looking up the nose hairs, you on Kill's Facebook or Instagram live feed.
Yeah, which one's that?
I don't know which one's which, but we got all kind of cameras everywhere right now, guys, which is pretty amazing. So, we're going to hop right into it. And we're going to...
No. We've been gone for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
What have you been up to, Mike?
Okay. Well, wait, 3 weeks?
Yeah, we haven't recorded in 3 weeks.
Been that long?
Yeah, it's been a while.
We missed
okay, well, I can't say for sure about the first two, but but last week I had my grandma's 80th birthday.
Oh,
Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats.
Celebration, family flying out. Yeah.
That's a big step right there.
That's a big step. That's a good reason to miss.
Yeah, it was a good time.
That's great. What about you, Kills? What you been up to?
I became a grandfather.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
I
Congrats,
became a
man.
grandfather.
Yeah, he's probably watching right now or listening.
He might be. His mom might turn
Tune
it on.
in, yeah, okay.
She's tuned in and got mad at me because I didn't say hello to her, but we squashed that.
All right, that's cool.
But yeah, February 21st.
All right.
Okay.
So
Congrats. Yeah, so I've just been working on my CJ on the Spot, and my new Instagram show, I guess you can call it, on Instagram TV, called CJ on the Spots, where I go around different spots, kind of review them, tell them if I like them or not, and just cool little innovative spots. So I've been working on that and just, looking for some more hosting gigs. So if you got a hosting gig, let your boy know. So that's what I've been up to, man.
Okay. Now we can jump into it.
So can we jump into it?
We can jump into it.
Can we kick into it?
And we're going to do like a flying kick.
Oh, no, not the flying kick.
Yeah, guys. So we're going to talk about the movie, The Three Ninjas.
There's no the.
Well,
Not just three ninjas. No,
the three. We're talking about three ninjas.
There you go.
Okay. Somebody's on over there too. So,
Ivan and Selena.
hey, Ivan Iceland, thank you for tuning in.
Thank you for
Appreciate
tuning
it.
in. Tell your friends about us.
Sending waves. Right.
Yeah,
now.
sending waves at you guys.
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
guys are tuning in, thank you very much. We're talking about the movie Three Ninjas. And I have to say, I love this movie growing up. Like this movie, when I caught it on TV one time, and I'm like, oh my God, my new favorite movie when I was like, I don't know how old I was at the time when I caught it. I think it was like 14 when I caught it or whatever. And it's literally starring three kids who get taught the ways of the ninja by their grandfather. And it's just one of those movies where it's like, yeah, like every kid who grew up trying to be a ninja.
Yeah.
That's what it literally came across.
Karate Masters?
Karate Masters, yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much.
yeah.
We all want to be karate masters and stuff like that. So I know you said, Mike, this your first time seeing it in a while, right?
So I've actually never seen it in its entirety until today.
Okay. So you fresh eyes on it. What'd you think about it?
I actually really liked it.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
It's very campy, very cheesy.
Okay.
I will say the acting is pretty terrible too, but
When it comes to the villains, I would say they are.
Yeah,
but
yeah, for
definitely.
sure.
I would say when it came to everybody in the film,
You don't
But-
like that?
hey,
but
it is what it is.
and this is a big but.
Yes, it is.
The fight choreography was actually pretty excellent.
Yes.
And you know what? For being kid actors,
Yeah.
I did like that fact that they did that pretty well. How
Mm-hmm.
they did that, and they didn't do anything that was super like out of the ordinary. I always think a kid wouldn't be able to do that was
Right.
being taught. And they're not.
So they didn't do the ninja corkscrew kick, right?
No, they know ninja
No,
corkscrew
nothing
kicks.
like that. Nothing like
Nothing
that.
of that nature, but they definitely did do some exciting moves, And
Right.
the one thing that I liked about it, and I didn't really appreciate it until I got older, was the fact that obviously his mom is Japanese and his father is
Their father.
is white.
There.
Or they know what I'm talking about. Their father's white.
Yeah.
And so the interracial, relationship and all that, and you just have to wonder as, first of all, I didn't even think they looked half Asian, half white.
Oh no, not at all.
No, they looked all white.
They could have did that a little bit better.
I mean,
a little bit
even
better.
the mom didn't look Japanese.
No,
She didn't look Japanese. Like yeah.
She was half Japanese.
She was half Japanese, which I understand, like
Quarter,
American
actually.
and all that stuff. But I have to say the most iconic thing in this movie to me is their names, their nicknames are like the most iconic things, and that you to this day I remember. And like if you somebody like you say Rocky, Colt, Tum Tum, people will almost already know where that's coming from if you're a child of this movie.
If you've seen this movie.
Yeah, if you've seen this movie, obviously.
True.
And it's just like one of those things. What about you, Kills?
I like the fight scene.
Which
At
one?
the end.
The end fight scene.
I like the
Oh,
end fight scene.
with the grandfather and the bad guy?
No.
Or-
The kids and the former wrestler.
Oh, okay, yeah.
When they say light him up.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I like that part, and I kind of like the way they teased Rocky.
Rocky loves Emily. Rocky loves Emily.
Yeah, I like that part. I mean,
You have to, but you know one thing you brought that up is you have to. How was it to be a kid, knowing this art form? You know, this self defense or ninja art form, and you had to hold back. And we knew Rocky was the oldest one,
and he was he was the
and he was a cool-headed person.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of times in that movie where you know he just like wanted to
lay the smack down.
Yeah.
He wanted to be the Rock. He wanted to lay the smack down.
because there was a time when they almost did when they were playing basketball,
Right.
and he's like, forget about it, and then they wanted to go beat him butt, but the bell rang and they went back to class.
Right.
And it's like, all right, well, I guess not, but I don't know, like, you think you'd be able to hold back? Mike, that was you.
It'd be pretty tough, but I think the movie did a good job in that regard, actually, by having, like, these kids learned, like, specific lessons from their grandfather about the responsibility
Of what he's taught them. Yeah.
And the fact that they restrain themselves like that, I think is actually a very consistent element to the movie that I thought was done well.
The only thing I didn't like, and then you spoke on. We're talking about Three Ninjas, guys. The movie Three Ninjas. If you're just now tuning in, and the thing that you kind of spoke on was the acting being kind of terrible, and but then you like the fight scenes.
Exactly.
But you can totally tell the stunt double between
Oh,
the
yeah.
grandfather and whoever the stunt double was.
When it's the
doing
grandfather,
flips.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
They tried. They tried so hard to make that not look like it was.
They tried.
Yeah.
But
There's definitely a guy in a suit.
it was definitely a guy in a suit. You can definitely tell that. But
Always with like padded.
Because you saw the way it moved.
Yeah.
and I'm a big firm believer in like stuff has to be believable. Like everything in the movie has to be believable.
When this movie came out, you were a kid. It didn't matter if it was
But
believable or not.
but what I'm saying is even now though, appreciating like at least gotta be like if I had kids and show my kids, it'd be like, okay, I understand why that would happen.
Right.
Because I'm thinking to myself, the people that were the ninjas, the bad guys, they were trained by, the main guy, Rob Schneider. And, they had guns.
Ninjas don't have guns.
Okay, we understand that.
But the bad guys in this movie
But
did.
the bad guys in the movies did. And at no
because
point...
he was also like a terrorist. He was like selling guns.
Right.
Like some contract.
He was
type
an
stuff.
arms dealer. But still, like they didn't
Try
use
to do that without mentioning
Yeah,
the
they didn't do any guns. I mean, they had gunplay. They didn't really have gunplay against the kids. You know what I mean?
No, it was against the grandfather though. They did have a gun scene in there against the grandfather, and the grandfather pretty much dodged everything, or you assumed he dodged everything because he never got hit.
Yeah,
that's why I said it was an 18 moment. Where in the television show 18, they shoot 50 rounds of just everything and hit nothing.
Yeah.
They blow up cars and everything and hit no one.
Well, I guess the main question I'm trying to ask, was it believable? Did you believe that the kids were fighting these guys and stuff like that in real?
I think for the most part, yeah, especially when they're inside the house. And this is where there's a comparison on the cover of this DVD, and I actually thought the same fucking thing
when you saw it
while I was watching this movie. It crosses Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Home Alone.
Yeah,
that's from the Boston Globe.
And it's just missing one person, like one element.
It's missing the Donatello of the group.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because Rocky was your Leonardo.
Yeah.
Colt was your Raphael.
Exactly.
And Tum Tum was your Michelangelo.
Yeah.
you had 3 of the 4 Ninja Turtles.
That's pretty much true.
You just didn't have the scientific guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But no, you didn't have scientific.
No.
I was gonna say Emily, but she really not.
No.
And I did also like the fact that the when it came to the big guy, you know, and the grandfather taught them how to strike against a big guy, and it made it believable. Like these are sensitive spots and stuff like that. So
yeah, joints, creases.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah,
creases,
joints, creases. You know, like in between the shoulders.
Yeah, but
in
what
the
I was
waist.
saying was that like it definitely seemed feasible during the Home Alone that middle section where they had the guys trying to kidnap the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going back and forth through the house and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
the kids give them like the coke that makes them have diarrhea and shit.
Which was so. Yeah, they were like, those were the only people that are like, come on, guys,
Yeah.
like this is like so
Yeah,
ridiculous.
you're trying to catch some kid and you stop to drink a soda.
Yeah.
Really?
Which is the funny part is too is like also the opening
Those
scene,
characters were just all sorts of dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they were awesome.
From the very first moment you see them.
You knew they were gonna get screwed.
Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious. Now let me ask you this, guys: did you guys have grandparents that actually taught you guys a skill? I mean, obviously not no fighting skills, possibly. I don't know, but like a skill that you're like, oh,
Well, I always say my grandfather taught me 3 things. He taught me how to look at the world in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Taught me how to fish.
Mm-hmm.
Taught me how to play dominoes.
There it is.
There you
All
go.
right. What about you?
My grandfather taught me some basics about aviation because he was a really big,
Okay.
like, he built model planes and I would fly them with him.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
that's great.
He also taught me kind of similar to what you said about a way to see the world. He was very analytical. He was a former engineer.
Oh, yeah.
So I kind of have that mentality too of like, oh, I gotta like see how these things work and then like put it back together
Right.
before I actually try to use it, you know?
Okay.
Okay, cool.
How about
Yeah.
you, Carl?
I didn't have a grandfather, so I don't know. Like, I mean, I had a grandfather.
I was about
I've
to
never,
say, how was that possible?
I've never
never met him?
him.
Oh, okay.
So I've never met my real grandfather, I guess you can say. Yeah, I can
On
never.
either side.
Either side. On
Okay.
either side. So I didn't have that, but I guess what I'm trying to get at too is like, the whole importance of teaching, the next generation or whatever a particular skill.
Right.
And I think that should be important to teach the next generation some type of skill to move on to the next, something that passes on down. So I was asking you guys, was something like maybe you guys pass down, like how to fish, now you can pass that down to, you probably did pass down to your daughter now.
Well, no, my daughter's not she's not a
fish at all.
not
She
a-
can't keep that, none of that, huh?
she has fished, but it's not something that, like, I would love, like, every time I go camping,
Mm-hmm.
I go fishing.
Mm-hmm.
She went fishing, she's over it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But there are things that that I did not learn from my grandfather,
Mm-hmm.
and people overlook the little things
Mhm.
that you're taught by your parents and stuff like that because it's a necessity almost, like cooking.
Mm-hmm.
People think cooking's a necessity. It's not really. There's an art form to cooking.
Yeah.
I learned from my mother to bake, but my mother learned from her grandfather, who was an actual baker.
Got it.
There you go.
See,
Okay.
so don't miss out on the little things.
Gotcha.
Like when my grandson gets old enough, I'm gonna teach him to do archery. My
Okay.
daughter may not be happy about it, but I'm gonna teach him archery. I'm
Okay.
gonna teach him, I have a godson. I'm gonna teach him to respect swords because I'm heavily into Japanese weaponry, and I'm gonna teach them how to use them, but also how to respect that weapon.
Okay. Now, there's a to me, when I'm looking at this movie now, I feel like there was a lot of things going on in this movie. One being the whole interracial thing. Like there was interracial marriage,
like the mother and father,
and father, the kids growing up in an interracial, environment. It just, and even from the grandfather and his the villain, or just Robert Wood Snyder.
Right.
You know what I mean? Them being, different ethnicities and all that stuff. So, I know, Mike, you're a product of an interracial relationship right now. Well,
No, I'm in an interracial.
You're in.
And he's
That's
not a
the
product of.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, you're in an interracial.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, a product of. I'm like, yeah, I didn't know this, but I just threw that on you. You didn't know this. I'm sorry. Catch out the bag down, Mike. Sorry, Mom. Mom and Dad. But
we had to let the secret out. Sorry. No.
do you find
to my whole life?
do you find difficulty in that at all?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
That was really
Wow.
cut it simple. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Well, we're gonna find out this Sunday. Our families are gonna
Meet for
are
the first time?
actually gonna meet.
Well,
There's gonna be a little bit of a language barrier. Not
Okay.
gonna lie. But I think it'll be a good time.
okay. Okay. I know you've dated your share.
Yeah, I've dated a number of. A lot were interracial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just you just go with the flow. You just if people accept it, they accept it. If they don't, I mean, there's nothing. You do you.
Yeah, you don't you don't need to accommodate
Satisfy-
other people.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mike. I'm going to say it like this, man. I'm be real. Because, almost, okay, everybody gets the pass when they date a white guy. It's almost like, you think, okay, I'm being dead serious. I mean,
Okay, I've never done that.
okay, well, not a pass. What I mean by that
never
is,
dated a white guy.
well, I know that. But what I'm saying is like,
Not today, you don't. Just joking.
all right. So basically, what I'm saying is, it's just I feel like it's maybe easier for that to happen. It's more acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's more acceptable. Me dating a Hispanic woman at times, I go into the black community and they look at me like, really? You couldn't
find a sister?
Couldn't find a sister? Or it's like if I'm dating a white girl and it's just
it's worse.
it's worse. You know what I'm saying? You got and then there's a different thing to it. You know what I mean? And it's just like, okay, but you see, like a lot of Asian women date a lot of white men, and because they've been, some of them, I'm not saying all, some of them been taught like, meet a white man, and that's that's what it is.
That's
you know what I'm saying? But you see a lot, but you see like a black girl and a white guy, it's like some girls get mad, guys are like, whatever, depending on how she look, I guess you be like, damn, man, you really, you don't take her from a dog, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe we're just the only ones like that. But I just feel like, you haven't ran into nothing like that. So I'm glad, you know what I mean?
Not like a negative pushback.
Yeah.
Or
just looks
I
and just
have
like.
had stuff where it's like her cousins or aunts or whatever are like, ooh, que guapo,
Yeah, man. So it's just like,
oh man, Ellie got herself a white guy.
Yeah, but I mean, for me, most of my interracial dating happened in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing was, hey, let's go out this weekend. Well, okay, I'll meet you there.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I mean, granted, I don't have a car, but I can come to your house. I can get a ride from somebody, or I can come to your house and we can leave during the day on a Saturday afternoon, catch the bus, but I can come get you like a gentleman would come get you.
yeah.
No, that's okay. I'll meet you there. And for a while, I didn't understand that. To be honest, I really didn't.
Yeah.
But I went to a predominantly white school. Well, at the time when I was going, it was predominantly white. Now it's predominantly Hispanic. But it was a predominantly white school. So, I mean, you talk to people and, like, I dated a Filipino chick. Or, excuse me, woman. And did I meet her parents? Never did. The time I met her parents is when we graduated, and I was no longer dating her. I was her friend.
Yeah. I bring up the whole interracial thing, obviously, because I say in the movie, they're supposed to be half white, half Japanese. But they don't look half white, half Japanese.
They look white.
They look straight white. Even
Some
the mom
might be able to pass. But
even the mom. So I'm just saying to myself, is that the if they were to like remake a movie like this, is that the imagery we need? You know what I'm saying? Is that how would it be met now? Like, would you go out there and actually find somebody?
I think they
would
have to.
They would actually do it though. They wouldn't have to because right now. But I think they would go out. They would make the effort to go out and find a woman of Asian descent.
Yeah.
She may not be
play
Japanese,
the
Yeah,
mother.
yeah.
but she would be of Asian descent
Yeah.
to play the mother.
Yeah.
Dad, they can go pretty much find
Anybody,
Any actor.
any actor to go play him.
but the kids, that's where we get kind of sketchy. Because you have to, if you're gonna do this the way that they're supposed to portray it,
Yeah.
you're gonna have, that's gonna be kind of a difficult kind of casting. I believe.
I don't think it's going to be as difficult as you might think.
Okay.
Well,
I think they'll be very specific about their casting calls and such, but
Well,
I don't think it'll be that difficult.
The reason why I said that is because one of the movies that we haven't done yet, because it's not old enough to be done, but we might do it anyway. The Last Airbender.
Right.
Aang is Asian.
Yeah, I know.
Aang is not Asian in the movie.
I know, and they got a lot of pushback from that.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
They probably, of course they
But
did.
that's just the studio. It wasn't because there was difficulty finding someone like that.
Actually, they said he was the best choice for the martial arts scenes.
Okay. We
That's
got
what they
comments
said.
on Instagram. I don't know. We got
Oh,
some
what do we
comments
got?
on Instagram.
What do we got?
I know
What do we
people
got?
are saying some things. I want to just acknowledge them.
Nope. It's just saying that I waved at these people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's it.
All right. Well, if you guys are still,
How you doing? How you
you're
doing?
tuning in, we're talking about the movie Three Ninjas, a movie basically about three kids who are taught by their grandfather
Camera
the
one
art
is down.
of
Camera
being
one is down.
a ninja. So,
It's not letting me wave.
one thing that we talk about on this show, obviously, is do we feel like this movie can be remade?
Hey, big brother.
And Mike, I want to open up to you, man. Do you feel like a movie like this could be remade?
I actually think it could be.
Okay.
One of the things I would say for sure is
Hey, D.
it's tough to decide whether it should keep the campiness of the original.
And what do you mean by campiness?
Just like the cartoonish acting, the way they do sound effects when they land a punch,
Okay.
or stuff like that.
The Velveeta.
Okay.
The Velveeta. I'm more of a craft person.
Okay, I'm
honestly.
sorry.
But yeah, so it's tough to decide whether you want to keep that kind of thing. I feel like nowadays people would want probably something a little more straightforward, a little more serious. In that regards, maybe make the kids a little bit older. Like even Tum Tum, he can still have that nickname with his appetite. Maybe actually make him heavyset.
Okay. Make them a little bigger, in other words?
Yeah, make them
Okay.
a little bigger, and so they're visually more distinctive. But yeah, definitely a little bit older to make.
What
Shut
were
it.
their
Find a-
ages?
Well, it really didn't go into too depth to say. I mean, they're all it seems like they're all in the same middle school. I'm going to assume they
Okay.
all went to school together.
Right.
Yeah, like 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I would say they're in middle school. I mean, I would say 6th, 7th, and 8th, or 6th and 8th and 8th. You know what I mean? Because I don't think Rocky was that much older than Colt.
I think they were a year apart.
Yeah, I would imagine they're each a year apart.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen the movie, Rocky's the oldest. That's his nickname. Colt is the middle child, and Tum Tum is the youngest one.
Right.
And because Tum Tum, and it's so funny is I actually had a player on a team that I called Tum Tum,
Yeah.
and it was like they don't know the reference, so I'm just
Yeah.
like Tum Tum, like 'cause I always catch her eating something, so
Oh,
I'm like
right.
Tum Tum. Tum Tum. She's like, what is that? I'm like, watch the movie and you'll know. You'll just watch the movie and you'll know. So,
But I think it would also make the action sequences a little more believable.
okay.
And maybe a little more believable in regards to their what you brought up before, the level of restraint that they have.
Yeah.
I think a 10-year-old would probably have a lot of difficulty with that kind of thing.
That's true.
And
What
that would explain Colt.
Yeah.
So what you think, Kills? You think a movie like this could be remade?
I definitely think it could be remade. Like we talked about though, I go back to the casting. Don't change the script at all. I don't think you have to change the script.
The overall plot, I think,
Yeah.
could
It works.
stay the same.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
works.
And
it will still, even with modern times, even with the use of, if you even make it modern with the use of technology, I still think that doesn't hurt much. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even though kids get left at home nowadays anyway. I mean, on the computer, whatever. But you know, But the whole concept, like, why wouldn't call the police? We can handle this ourselves, so they wouldn't have to use technology.
Exactly.
Right. And then the fact that you can open your door with your phone.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, technology. But they had technology at this point when this movie
Yeah,
was made.
they had the little siren that let them know when their mom was coming up.
Exactly.
Somebody made that. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
They had the technology. For that time, they had the technology of that time.
That's 80s tech for you.
You know, but they never used it.
Mom alert, mom alert.
You know, their grandfather taught them to be self-sufficient without modern technology.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Oh, and we just lost
my Facebook. Yeah, that's all right. We're still on Instagram. We're good. So yeah, I mean, I absolutely think they should, and I'm a big advocate. They need to push and make Three Ninjas, and I think Disney could pick it up. No, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Disney pick a movie up like this, it's gonna be too cheesy.
Well, I look at it this way: you can make this movie, but make this movie a movie, not 400 sequels.
Mm-hmm.
You know, do one movie, do it well, and then leave it alone.
Now, for some of you guys who may or may not know, Three Ninjas actually had 4 movies. So three sequels. So it had Three Ninjas, which is the original. Then after that, you had Knuckle Up.
Was it Knuckle Up then Kickback, or Kickback then Knuckle Up?
No, it was Knuckle Up, and then it was Kickback, and then it was High Noon at Mega Mountain. A total fucking flop. Don't even look for this movie. Like, if you feel like you need to just get the whole entire series, leave that one out. It had Hulk Hogan in it, and they didn't. It was stupid.
If you're gonna get the whole series, you have to get that.
No.
I'm a firm believer. If you get the whole series, you got to get the whole series.
High Noon at Mega Mountain.
I think there's things that you can always leave out of official canon.
I feel like High Noon.
Series.
High Noon and Mega Mountain was literally like a Disney Channel original movie. That's what it felt like to me. That last movie.
I wouldn't even give it that much credit.
Well, it progressively got worse as the sequels went on.
Yes.
In Knuckle Up,
I think High Noon they were actually teenagers, weren't they?
They were still teenagers, a little bit older, yeah. But what I'm saying is, from after Three Ninjas, they go into Knuckle Up, and Knuckle Up basically is they're going to their grandfather's house where they've been taught, the ways of the ninja, and what happens is there's this land tycoon that's trying to buy up property. He's doing like land field and all places, stuff like that, and there's Indians that live there on I guess you would say a reservation.
Yeah.
They live on a reservation, but they're being dumped with all this trash around their area, and so they're trying to be like advocates for it, and then it's just a whole little thing. And then we get a little love scene between, Colt, the middle son, with one of the Indian girls who, is there, and like they get in a fight at a pizzeria, and with these dumb. It was just
the guys they're going to get their butts kicked. Because they're too stupid to actually think logically.
I knew it went bad because there was a fight choreography music number.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it was music playing to the fight.
It was music playing to the fight, but then it was like
that's never a good sign.
They were like
that was a big thing in the 90s though.
So I guess what basically in the movie the kids wanted to the tribe wanted to thank the kids. And so they did like their little Indian dance type thing,
right?
And then from that they said Rocky and Colt were like, let's do our dance, and so they did it like a dance, like doing like ninja kicks and all that stuff, and they were like choreographed and all this stuff. Now let me ask you this: I don't have brothers and sisters. Did you guys ever choreograph a dance with your brothers and sisters? No. It's like, come on, who does that?
I couldn't do that. And the only reason is because I'm the youngest of 5. Mm-hmm. Trying to choreograph anything. Now, I will say my youngest brother, to me, he's still older, but out of my 3 brothers, the youngest one, he tried to teach me some martial arts, because he had nunchucks and everything like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, not a good idea. Mom was completely and utterly upset with him because I had a knot on the center of my forehead about the size of a silver dollar. So... yeah, she wasn't happy about that.
Okay.
But other than that, no. Not good.
Yeah, that's the only thing. And then you go into Kickback, where like the grandfather won this dagger a long time ago, and this like ninja fighting freaking
it's almost
championship.
Like the Kumite.
It's like the Kumite, but pretty much for kids. And you get this dagger, and the dagger is supposed to have this legend to lead to this thing of gold, and then like it's just a whole thing that's just They kidnap. they steal their parents' MasterCard or their credit card, book them a flight on a plane to go. Like it's like really. So so we deal with that, and we get a change in characters because Colt's no longer in it.
Oh.
Not Colt, but Rocky's no longer in it. It's a different Rocky. But they kept him being
different
Rocky.
actor.
Different actor. They still called him Rocky. He still had the same name and everything, but it was just a different character. Which is like different person. I mean, for me, I feel like I feel like you shouldn't even did it at all. Like, if you're gonna have to change,
if you have to change one of the lead actors,
I think you should have been like, hey, he went to camp, or he's in, I don't know, like he went somewhere else. Bringing a
like how the Power Rangers sent the red, yellow, and black Rangers to like the World Peace Summit,
right?
And then they got the new ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, just like that, because this didn't make any sense. You know what I mean?
It made sense, but it was stupid.
Yeah, it was just stupid. But so that's why we really don't talk about that. And after that, it's Heinen and Mega Mountain, which was so damn cheesy. It was ridiculous.
No, I mean I can see how.
Oh, you like that, huh?
I can see how at this point you just leave it at the first movie.
Yeah.
And if you remake it, you do a good job. And make sure that the quality is very consistent.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Sounds about right to me.
So you guys have any final thoughts on the movie Three Ninjas?
Good movie. Very comical.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny.
It's a lot of comedy in it, but you can remake it, do it right. Don't try to make sequels off of it.
Got you. What you got for me?
I actually had a good time revisiting something that was like literally the briefest image in my like childhood memory. Because the only time I remember seeing this was like little snippets of it. If I was like at like a party and one of the other kids that I like barely knew anyways just happened to have it on.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Like they were watching it when I got there, that kind of thing.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I absolutely love this movie. I think it's a movie that should be remade, and I think it'll do well, especially with mixed martial arts being a big thing. Yeah. I still think you keep it like more of the like ninjutsu type of aspect of it though, and I definitely keep the 3 kids and the names and all that stuff. And I don't know you get to play grandfather, but you got to find somebody.
I think the nicknames definitely have to stay. They're all badass.
Well, I want we have our beautiful audience. Pressure the studios. If they remake this, leave it the alone. Make the movie as it is. Ninjutsu, not mixed martial arts. Do not make them mixed martial artists. Do not.
Yeah, that's one thing for sure.
If you're gonna change it, I hate to say this, but if you're gonna change it, don't go mixed martial arts. You can go Thai fight, Thai boxing. I don't care. You can go to karate. I don't care. One style.
Yeah, I think it's
because you got 3 kids. So if you do 3 kids mixed martial arts, it's gonna be 3 different styles.
Yeah. What if it was the grandfather was a master of multiple different styles, and he teaches each of them
a different style?
Yeah.
That's fine.
I guess
that's fine. But each kid has their own style, not mixed martial arts.
Right. They're not all doing like that Black Widow like slide or like around the neck and like slam to the ground. Yeah.
Superman punching all over everybody. No.
Yeah, exactly.
No, don't do that.
Well, guys, once again, this has been the Blast from the Past movie podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and like us and follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Blast from the Past Movies. We very much enjoy that, guys. But once again, I've been one of your hosts, CJ.
Joe Q, keeping it real.
I'm Mad Mike.
And this is the Blast saying peace.
We out.
Peace.